You ready for the video, Shrey?
Absolutely, let's get this.
Let's do it. Okay, woo. Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish and
Shrey.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Sick with exam fear? This will help.
do you ever find yourself stressed, anxious, or nervous? Well, that used to be me all the time, and then I found meditation. And now I've guided hundreds of people on their meditation journeys. And I will soon be coming out with a meditation product, so stay tuned for that. And today, I'm here with Shrey. Want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Shrey Thaker. I'm a current pre-med student at Stony Brook University, but I really find a lot of joy in filming, getting into some meditation with my friend Vish here. He's been helping me out. I have some of my own hobbies like playing violin, and I'm really out here just trying to learn, so that's all about me.
So Shrey and I actually have known each other since, I think it was high school, right? We had a few classes together, and Shrey has a lot of research experience. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been doing research for about 5 years now, and it's been in the field of colon cancer. So I do all sorts of research and experiments, and it's a very, very difficult process sometimes when things don't work out. So there definitely needs to be a healthier type of coping mechanism that you can take with you and make sure that you keep on going.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I feel like this video topic is very relevant to what you just said.
Absolutely.
So let's get right into the video.
Let's get into it.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. Can you tell us what are the measures to adapt to improve our memory power, and how can we overcome from our exam fear?
Exam fear? Oh. You're asking the right one. Straight from the horse's mouth. Somebody who had no fear of examination ever. That was my father's greatest concern, that I had no fear of examination. Say, oh, this boy has no fear, what to do? This is the whole thing. You're asking this question, it's good, but you must first understand, somewhere it's spread around in this world, in the society, that fear is some kind of a virtue. Fear is not a virtue. Fear makes you into the ugliest possible creature. Most unpleasant experience in your life is probably fear. That one thing not being there has made my life totally, absolutely pleasant, because fear is about something that is yet to be. Fear is about something that does not exist right now. What will happen is the thing. What will happen, you do not know. When you do not know what you will write on the damn paper, something that you learned a whole year, you still do not know what you will write. When this is the thing, what will happen in your life, you for sure do not know, isn't it? Yes? But you're imagining all the horrible things that will happen post-examination. No, post-examination there's a wonderful vacation. Yes. Then there's one day they'll announce result. My 10th standard exam results, I did not go to see. My 12th standard examination results, I did not go to see. Somebody later on, one of my family is boiling. Today's results, what are you doing, what are you doing? What am I supposed to do? Then they will tell somebody that they know, they will send word. They must have gone and seen what has happened to his result. Well, somehow passed. Now the thing is just this, are you going to school to learn something or are you going to school to prove something? This is a thing that you have to decide, everybody must decide. Have you come to the ashram to know something or to prove something? You must decide this. Once you go to any place to prove something about yourself, sickness will set in. Sickness of failure and success will set in. For one who wants to learn, there is no such thing as failure, there is no such thing as success. It's just a question of striving. Somebody may get it in 1 day, I may get it in 10 days, somebody may get it in 100 days. It's just a question of striving. If your interest is to learn, striving itself is a learning. To be able to strive relentlessly itself is a huge learning, isn't it? So, don't try to prove anything. Don't try to improve your memory, please. You went to school not to remember some rubbish, to learn something, to enhance the horizons of your life. You had to know and understand something about this existence around you. This is what is science, this is what is mathematics, this is what everything is. What you're studying is not some subject, it's different pieces of life, maybe presented in a most uninteresting way, but still it's life. Yes? Whether you study physics or chemistry or biology or social sciences or geography, you're learning something that could enhance the scope and play of your life. So you have to learn it. If you remember it, it will not transform your life in any way. So, you went there to learn. If you have learned, what's the problem? What you know you write, what you don't know, you want to copy from that guy next? I will not talk about all those things because many times teachers, it seems, are encouraging these things. Getting a few marks more or less in 10th standard is not going to make so much of a difference. How much you learn will make a world of a difference. How many things you grasped right now, fundamentals, will make a big difference. Right now, focus on that. Maybe the damn 12th standard. Because today in India, if you want to go to medical sciences, you must have… people from outside the country cannot believe this. You must get 98, 97%. You have nowhere to go. How sensibly, how wonderfully, with how much competence you live your life is important. How much you remember is not important. I don't remember a damn thing. That's why I can sit here and gossip with you simply about anything, because there's no burden of remembering anything. So, no antidiarrheal tablets, and don't worry about your memory. What you know, you will do. What you do not know, anyway you cannot do. But if you know how to copy, it's up to you. I wouldn't do it. And I'm sure our teachers will not allow it, because at this stage in your life, you don't start your life with deception. Don't, at least be… I'm not talking about honesty, I'm talking about learning to be straight with life so that tomorrow you don't get all twisted out for small things. That you're okay, this is how I am, okay, I get only 35, it's okay. This is how I am. This will not determine the quality of my life. I want you to understand this. What marks you get will not determine the quality of your life, but with how much integrity you exist will definitely determine the quality of your life. So, no copying, all right? Suppose you don't know anything, it's all right, happily sit there and come out. Tell everybody, I did not get it. You do some yoga, life will become long, so you can take 1 more year. one more year to learn. No copying, because don't lose your integrity for small things, petty things these are. Don't lose your integrity for such small things. Tomorrow when big things come, you will not be able to stand up to them.
So Shrey, what did you think of that video?
Well, definitely a lot of cool, deep insight packed into such a short amount of time, Vish, but I'm ready to, dive in, and there was a few things that stuck out to me for sure, especially in the research aspect of it.
Okay.
So I'm ready to dive in.
Awesome, yeah, I appreciate you highlighting that. And let's just start off with this. I mean, it seems like the key topic and theme for the video was the integrity of life. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, what stuck with you? What did you relate to? What did you connect with? Absolutely. Or were there things that you didn't connect with as well? That's perfectly fine. So we'd love to hear that.
So we hear this a lot where, if you had the choice between copying someone next to you to get those extra points versus admitting that you don't know something
mm-hmm.
and losing those points, ideally, everyone tells you you should do the latter and bank those few points but admit that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, we see that that's not really what happens.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times...
In most cases, that is.
In most cases, of course.
Right.
Not, of course, exceptions in every case.
Like Sadhguru himself.
Absolutely. Now, in our culture, there is such a drive for excellence, such a competition to get the highest grade,
mm-hmm.
that drive sometimes disintegrates the integrity which everyone tries to uphold
mm-hmm.
and puts on a pedestal that this is what we should look up to. But I think, and based on what Sadhguru's teaching is that integrity shouldn't be this pedestal that's kind of far and like a destination for you to reach, mm-hmm. but instead it should be a foundation.
Correct.
From which you build your practice on.
Beautifully said, Shrey. That was really, really well said,
mm-hmm.
Well connected, and it really seemed like you got that clarity from what he said. So very much appreciate you sharing that
mm-hmm.
perspective on that.
For sure.
And I very much connect with you on that. It's really just the idea that the life integrity should be the fundamental basis of everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like you said, people get so caught up with the future and they get so caught up that they lose track of the present moment.
Yeah.
Right? They're compromising the present moment, that is.
Mm-hmm.
And by compromising the present moment, which in this case is whether you cheat or you don't cheat, they're doing it with the intention of hopefully having some sort of future goal met and accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But as you all know, and this is something I've realized, it's important. I mean, it's easier said than done, but when you practice and you realize it, it's a whole different thing, which is the idea that this present moment is all that you have and all that you will ever have. Mm-hmm. So you scraping those few points here and there by cheating, for instance, really at the end is compromising that present moment, which is you're compromising that life integrity, and you're indirectly compromising the future.
Mm-hmm.
And as he says, I mean, it's such a small thing, like a point in the grand scheme of things means such little.
Right.
So have you ever experienced cheating yourself in terms of others cheating off you?
Mm-hmm.
How have you dealt with that? I'd love to hear that too.
So this kind of ties into, from this video, I took two main points.
Yes.
One of the points that I wanted to touch on was this concept that he brought up of going somewhere to learn.
Yes.
Versus going somewhere to prove yourself.
Correct.
Okay. Now, I tutor many students, mm-hmm. and my true passion is in tutoring. In fact, one of the questions I ask after I tutor someone is, did I feel like someone who was just trying to make money, or did I feel like someone who really cared about teaching you something?
Right.
And that question on the surface may seem a little weird.
Yes.
But my true intention, and all my students can attest to this, is many tutors, while I totally understand their time obligations, once 1 hour is up or half an hour is up, the student gets kicked out the door. For me, time isn't the metric that I use. For me, it's the aha, oh, I get it. until I see that moment in my students, then I know that my session is not done. Because my responsibility as a teacher is to not only teach a subject or content, but it's getting someone riled up and excited to actually learn what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Many students will come to me and they'll be like, you know, I just want to get this on my test and I'll be happy, right? And I'm saying, well, if you're using your test score as a metric for your happiness, you're gonna go on and you're gonna just forget what you try to learn or understand or memorize. And this brings me back to the research that I do and why this is so relevant to research.
Right.
Especially in undergraduate, when you're in the science or STEM field, everyone from professors to parents to other peers, they push you to pursue research.
Yes.
And the reason they tell you this is because on your resume it is now commonplace to have research experience listed on your resume if you want to go into any further graduate studies. And I understand the reality and the practicality of that. But I think what differentiates people who really want to do research versus those who do research as part of their resume building is I treat all the resume building and the test scores and everything as secondary to the experience of really learning, understanding, and first and foremost, enjoying what I'm being exposed to. Just think about this, and you may be able to touch on this. You have the opportunity every day you wake up to understand and actually experience the world around you. There's so many possibilities where that could not have happened, but you yet exist in one that does. So in my essence of what I like to think about is if I'm studying for a test or if I'm taking a course and I find myself truly curious about what I'm looking at, the test will come, the resume will come, everything will come. But if you do it for that end, you're gonna sell yourself short.
Yes.
And I think that what Sadhguru said about being somewhere to learn versus being somewhere to prove just emphasizes and validates my viewpoint on doing things because I really want to do it.
Yes.
And not because I have someone to impress or not because I have this application to fill out. Because I think at the end of the day, if you try to apply to whatever, a position, a school, you want to present yourself. And if you're someone who does something just to impress other people, sometimes that can work. I'm not saying it can't. But in my opinion, and it goes back to the integrity conversation we were having,
Yes.
that's not someone with integrity. That's someone who's trying to impress others, which is proving and not learning
100%.
with integrity. So that's my thoughts on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shrey. Honestly, I think you really encapsulated a lot of Sadhguru's messages with a lot of practical examples. So thank you so much for doing that. And I don't have much to add. I myself, just whether it's watching the video that we watched together with Sadhguru himself, as well as just hearing your reaction with the examples you've had connecting to what Sadhguru says, I really was able to honestly learn from you as well. So honestly, I think that was a beautiful message you were able to share.
Thanks.
And thank you again for being here.
For sure, absolutely.
I appreciate you all for taking the time and watching this. And also, Shrey makes a lot of cool social media content and photography, videography. Where can they find you, Shrey?
Yeah, so my biggest thing, hit me up on my YouTube, just my first last name. It'll probably be linked somewhere.
Down below.
Yeah, so just, hit me up on there. I just make some videos now and then. It's a really nice, chill atmosphere. It's for people who are just looking to de-stress after, so hit me up on those and hope to see you there.
Yeah, the social media and all his YouTube will be also down below. And with that being said, thank you so much for the presence, for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Vish, for bringing me into this. I definitely look forward to seeing some more content with you.
Absolutely. And with that, make it a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Shrey. Been amazing.
Thanks so much, Vish. Catch you later.